Hello and welcome to Reimagine Life Phase 4. Today on day 6, we will focus on neural enhancement model for success, abundance, and prosperity. On day 5, I asked you to outline the intentional thinking process for manifestation. And I asked you to choose at least 3 different priorities, things that you would love to experience or create or manifest. Now, these intentional thinking process is a short one where you outline basically steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 6 steps, not too many steps, but keep it short. And what you continue to do is go through the steps in your mind one by one for, let's say, 10 minutes would be great throughout the day. But at least when you start to get into the flow, as you think about step 1, visual sensations and other information pop up and your neural network becomes activated on that particular idea or thought. Then you focus on step 2 for a few seconds and same thing happens. Step 3, same thing happens. So you are intentionally firing up your neurons and giving them some tasks to do. So when it comes to that particular idea, whenever you think about it or something similar, those neurons and the pathway you are creating in your brain, that gets activated and it empowers you with information and connection that's beneficial. When you have thoughts about something, it could be immediately, you recalling a whole bunch of issues around it, or that process could be when you think about that idea, immediately you have a lot of great information popping up. Sometimes it's a mixture. So when more of you, more of your neurons, more of your being begins to connect with empowering information and uplifting information and information that's associated with, let's say, hope, possibilities, abundance, love, healing, and prosperity, then it becomes easier for your system to manifest. Now, as I mentioned the other day, without resistance, manifestation is easy, right? So when you have resistance, you just need to move through it. And by guiding the intentional thinking process, you can shift through some of the resistance more easily because you are creating a pathway for those thoughts and ideas to flow through you, and it's becoming automatic. So that's why having, let's say, a low number of steps, let's say 5 steps, 6 steps would be great. So you can go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it would be very beneficial for you to spend 10 minutes a day to associate the neural pathways and firing of your neurons with these priorities. Once you are done with the 10 minutes a day, maybe for a month or so, when it becomes more natural, then you can spend less time. And then you can spend 5 minutes or 3 minutes, or randomly, you can just recall and go through the steps, and it will generate pretty much the same results because now the pathways exist. The highways for that flow already exists. So when the information is there and the path is there, it's easy for you to navigate through the those highways. Okay. So by running the movies or these mini manifestation movies over and over again, you will direct your brain and your thoughts and align more with your higher vision. Initially, you start with just the processes, just the steps, just the thoughts. Then you add more feelings and other ways of that you notice. So 10 to 15 seconds would be ideal. If it's more than 15 seconds, Usually what happens is you can't hold your focus and your brain goes into all different directions. If you can do 25 seconds, awesome. It's going to be even more powerful. But I'm talking about going through a flow of those 5 or 6 steps without getting distracted or with as little distraction as possible. So when you're running from steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're consciously focusing on each one of them for a few seconds. That's why your system is busy and you're having the energies flow through your brain. Okay. So today, let's go through one of your mini movies repeatedly while I run an abundance vortex in the background. So just to recall, and 6 steps is ideal. So you go through step 1, and you can use your hand or your fingers too. Let's say you start counting. Step 1, you think about the process. You notice it with all of your senses, and it's a 2-3 second process. Then step 2, what is the next step that you have identified? Go through it again. Step 3, go through it again. Step 4, go through that process. Step 5, then go through it. Step 6, go through it. Then you're done. Then repeat. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you're using your fingers, then what happens is you're also creating mappings of the steps with your fingers or the lines on your fingers. So then when you think about that ideal scenario and you start touching these lines on your fingers, your brain, because they're mapped already by you going through these processes repeatedly, the moment you touch, it can start to bring up the visual senses, the sound, the smell, texture, taste, anything that's associated. So you give yourself a whole body and a whole being experience. Okay. So write down the steps and it will be easy. I actually, yesterday I was going through some of my like journals and documents, and I found this one. Liana gave it to me when I was traveling, and I was writing it down, inside it, some of the steps. So you can outline some steps that makes it easier. Then initially you can look at the steps and run through the scenarios in your brain. That may take more than 15 seconds, that's fine, but keep it short, keep it limited to 6 steps if possible. 7, if it's more, then it may be too many steps. If it is 32-step process, then it's just too much. Okay, so let's play with the energies. And again, after you go through the journey, then fine tune the information so you can shorten it, you can make it more powerful, and then you keep repeating the same process again and again and again until you have that highway created in your system, so that the moment you start thinking about that particular idea or priority, your neurons fire up, your system get activated, and you are focusing more and more with your whole body, with all of your cells, or a lot more of your cells, and your energy becomes more aligned with the state of manifestation. And that's when the manifestation happens. Let's begin our journey and processing today. Gently close your eyes. Focus on your heart. Begin to breathe in and out. Let's bring up spiraling earth energies from the center of earth and allow these energies to come up through your lower chakras and your feet for grounding. Let's bring down the spiraling rays of the sun through your higher chakras and your crown. You are inside a vortex between the earth and the sun. Allow the energies to spiral through you up and down. Notice your sensations. Let's focus on your heart-brain connection. Notice your heart and your brain lighting up in bright, shiny colors. Choose one of your priorities that you have outlined. How many steps did you outline? Think about them. You can use your fingers to start counting the steps as you go through them. Let's begin the process of running through your outline, which creates a mini movie for manifestation. I will keep running an abundance vortex in the background. As you are thinking about these steps, notice the energies of that step spiraling through your brain, spiraling through your neural network, and getting transmitted throughout the body. Start going through the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, keep breathing in and out deeply and gently. For the next few minutes, continue to use your fingers to count and run through the steps over and over and over again. You are allowing the information to spiral through your neural network. It's getting amplified by the abundance vortex I'm running. Begin to create pathways for your success. At any point, if you need to look up the information that you wrote down to be more specific, feel free to do that. Allow the process to harmonize for you. Let's breathe in and out, deeply and gently, a few more times. Let's come back to your present moment. Rub your hands together and gently open your eyes. Welcome back. That was fun. Now, if you didn't finish the steps, then you may have been figuring out during the journey. So it would be ideal for you, for this reason, to outline the steps and just to think about fine-tuning them. Keep the number to a low so that you have a few steps to think about. 5, 6 is really great. And then you can start going through the process again and again and again for about 10 minutes. And as you go through it, your brain will start to think about the outline that you are designing. And ultimately, the result is what you are mentioning, that this is where you are, and these are the steps, 5 steps or 6 steps to get to the results that you desire. And as you're using, let's say, restoring an abundance in the background when you start, then you're also infusing a vortex of abundance and for the whole process. So play with the energies, fine tune the process, do that for at least 3 of your priorities, and just keep going through the steps repeatedly. When you are starting, then you can do more than 10 minutes multiple times throughout the day. Maybe 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 3 times a day. Use your time creatively. Use the process as often as you can until it becomes a second nature for you, until it becomes very easy and vibrant for you. It's almost like you flow through it very easily. It's like you glide through it like a bird. So play with the energies and continue to give yourself some boosts and notice your sensations and notice what shows up. So thanks for joining. Wishing you lots of magic and lots of practice today. I will see you for our next journey.